I grew up in Miami, Florida. My family had boats. We always took lots of cool trips, but we never went to this one amazing place called Stiltsville, and I had always wanted to go and see it. It was just off the coast of Key Biscayne, and I could see this very unusual neighborhood, but it was out in the water called Stiltsville. Let's take a look at the amazing history of this incredibly unique community. My journey to Stiltsville begins here at the Charles Deering Estate in Cutler Ridge. Now, this estate was purchased in 1985 by the state of Florida. This is where you access the National Park Service boat and tour out to Stiltsville. I had some time to check out the historic Charles Deering Estate, and now I'm leaving on the roundabout on the Pelican Skipper, a comfortable riding 45-foot Corinthian catamaran. This Stiltsville tour will take you for an up-close look at the village in the bay. It's a 3-hour tour. The vessel complies with Coast Guard regulations and is ADA accessible. The cost is $56 per person, and advanced reservations are needed. As we venture out into the bay, we pass the Cape Florida Lighthouse, located on the very tip of Key Biscayne, now Bill Baggs Cape Florida State Park. Stiltsville is a group of wood stilt houses located 1 mile south of Cape Florida on sandbanks on the very edge of Biscayne Bay in Miami-Dade County, Florida. The structures stand on wood or reinforced concrete pilings, generally 10 feet above the shallow water, which varies from 1 to 3 feet deep at low tide. Most sources claim the first stilt shacks were built in the early 1930s. But some Dade County historians believe that there were dozens of shacks in the flats as early as 1922. In 1932, Miami was a quickly growing city, and that included the bay. Crawfish Eddie was the first to build a shack out on the sand flats. Officially, his building was not that much more than an elaborate barge, and it served as a bait and tackle shop. Unofficially, this area was a hotbed for rum running and illegal gambling, making Crawfish a mythical figure in the Miami crime lore. Crawfish Eddie Walker had his own little kingdom out here in the bay, and he offered gambling, which was legal if it was only 1 mile offshore. The first social club built at Stiltsville was constructed during the late 1930s and named the Calvert Club. The Miami Beach Rod and Reel Club was organized in 1929 and held its first official outing at the Stiltsville Calvert Club in August of 1938. A club picture was taken in front of the club, which was popular enough to have picture postcards printed. No longer existing, the Calvert Club was one of several clubs that flourished on the flats, including the Quarter Deck Club and the Bikini Club. Stiltsville became a real Miami place where old-timers, attorneys, and judges, what have you, would be out here to have a weekend getaway or a summer getaway to fish and party and do pretty much whatever they wanted. By the 1960s, there were 27 shacks located just about a mile offshore. The A-frame house was built with timbers from the Methodist Church on Key Biscayne, and with the lumber salvaged on the flats from the former Quarter Deck Club, which was a previous Stiltsville structure. The unusual triangular shape is hoped to protect it from storms. Due to the devastating impacts of hurricanes and tropical storms, the Park Service has added hurricane strappings to protect the structures from wind damage and major storms. Caretakers still perform basic maintenance on the former weekend retreats, but the Stiltsville buildings are owned by the National Park Service and have been secured and posted with no trespassing signs. Access to the buildings by non-trust members is by permission of the park's superintendent only. Wow, what a cool adventure headed out to Stiltsville. Something I've always wanted to do my entire life. Our adventure is over, and we're headed back to the historic Charles Deering Estate into the roundabout. Always check the website at the Park Service to check current prices and any changes in the service out to Stiltsville. I'm Zacharias, Senior Curator of Education and History at the Museum of Arts and Sciences, and I hope you enjoyed this afternoon with Florida history.